Yo, what's going on, guys? My name's Eclihpse, and today we are back with another episode of Mythbusters. It's been quite some time since we made one of these, and the support is always amazing, so I figured I would make another. Now, real quickly, before we do get into today's video, I just want to announce that later today at 5 p.m. EST, I will be doing a live stream on LiveMe, and the link to that is in my description below, as well as a time zone converter. So please tune into that. 5 p.m. EST, hopefully I can see you all there. Hopping right into myth number 1, after a 2 versus 2, if you request a rematch and leave and the other person accepts your rematch, you will actually get thrown into 2 matches at once, and if done correctly, your game should look like this and it should appear very, very weird. Now guys, I did a lot of damn matches to try this out. The first attempt didn't work too well, I ended up getting paired with someone else. Going over to the second attempt, didn't work, ended up getting paired with a random dude. Third attempt, again, didn't work, got paired with a random guy. Now the fourth attempt, this is where things get interesting because I didn't find a random person, instead I was with my same partner. And the final attempt, again, it didn't work, I just ended up getting a random partner. So I just showed you guys a few of the outcomes, but overall we did like 10 to 15 battles and literally this wasn't consistent at all. So even if this is the method of getting the glitch to work, it is very, very, very inconsistent. So with that being said, I'm gonna say this myth is busted. The next myth says with the new graveyard, it will do the exact damage every time it's placed on the tower. Right here we have a graveyard on that top right hand tower. As you can see, it goes down, it's going very quickly, speeding it up, but by the time it is over, that right tower has 457 hit points. Now I did screw up in this battle earlier on, I accidentally ice-spirited that left tower, so there's actually 95 hit points left on that right tower, but once this graveyard is over, we can do some math in the calculation. So after the second graveyard, that tower has 362 health, but if we add on the 95 from the ice spirit, that is 457. So with the new graveyard, it's pretty much the same every single time, so this myth is confirmed. The hunter can stop the effects of the freeze spell if raged after the freeze has been dropped. Here we have a hunter about to get placed down in the very, very back, so we can see him approaching up. We have that rage spell ready, so as soon as he gets frozen, we're gonna drop that rage spell down, and let's see if the rage can actually counteract the freeze spell. There's the freeze, dropping the rage down, and absolutely nothing. This myth is busted. Okay, so this person actually sent me 2 myths. The first one we're gonna be testing is that an Electro Wizard plus Zappies can actually stop a Hog Rider, and then once we test that, we're gonna move on to his second myth, and that is that the E-Wiz plus Zappies and Mirror and Clone and all that cool stuff is actually going to be enough to 3-crown somebody. Here we have the Zappies down in the very back. I have that Electro Wizard ready, but we're just gonna wait for the Hog Rider to come down. And remember, the goal here is to completely stop the Hog Rider in its path. Oh, we can't do it. Apparently, there is not enough zapping power to stop the hog. Maybe if we had some extra zappies or E-Wiz, maybe if we froze them and cool stuff, we could have probably totally stopped him, but just the E-Wiz and zappies alone is not enough. So unfortunately, that part of your myth is busted. Here we are testing the second part of his myth. Remember, this is can zappies plus the E-Wiz and clones and all that get a 3-crown. Now in his myth, he did reference the clone spell, and in this battle, I'm using the mirror, but it kind of functions the same way because the E-Wiz is our tank here. Also, he said I was allowed to use the rage spell, so this is actually going to come in so clutch. Now here is the first tower. It barely even gets like a shot off because we're zapping it so much. After the first crown is down though, we're moving on to the king tower, and now let's just see if this is enough to actually get a 3-crown. We have the rage spell ready, and just look at that, all the troops are blasting away, and there we go, we successfully got a 3-crown. So that portion of your myth is confirmed. Now this next myth I wasn't expecting to be interesting, but throughout my entire time playing Clash Royale, I've never attempted this and it actually caught me off guard. So his tweet has pretty bad grammar, so let's throw that out of here. Essentially, he's saying when you're in a battle, you can click on that card on the very bottom left. Right here though, we're in a battle, and as you can see, I put some skeletons down, and there's the zap. But look at this. When I click on the zap card, it's actually gonna start like bouncing up and down. Like you can actually select these cards, and like I said, throughout my entire time playing Clash, I've never actually noticed this. So even though your myth had crazy grammar, it caught me off guard, and it is confirmed. Superior says you can win a ladder match in 60 seconds or less with Graveyard Mirror, Clone, and Freeze. Now, two disclaimers. The first one being, I'm gonna be starting the timer once my friend puts his first card down. I was pretty much giving him time to get the perfect cycle, and the other one being, I'm not gonna be putting any troops down. So is this battle realistic? Not really. But here we have it. So my friend Feb Dylan is actually gonna be doing all of the work in this. So there's the Ice Spirit. The timer has started, and as you can see, it's approaching the tower, and he's using that Ice Spirit as like a mini tank slash freeze spell. So there's the first graveyard down. As you can see, that's doing decent. Then he puts the second one down, and just wait for it. I'm pretty sure there's going to be a rage spell relatively soon. So he completely wiped through both of those towers in just like 20 seconds or so. But please do keep in mind, I wasn't putting any troops down, but if you're against a really bad opponent and if you get the perfect cycle, you can 100% do this in a regular match. So this myth is confirmed. If you change your language to this one, News Royale is going to appear differently. Here we are on the menus. Let's change our language up. We have to click on the one near the bottom. I'm not quite sure what language this even is, so if you know, please let me know what it is down in my comment section. But when we head on over to the News Royale tab, you're gonna notice everything is in squares. Like there's 2 squares per row, and it goes all the way down like that. Also, there are some tabs up top. You can click on those, and again, it just shows you a different interface. So now let's change our language back to English just so you can kind of compare the two. And it's kind of crazy to think that different languages have such different elements in the game, and as you can see, both of them are totally different. So this myth right here is confirmed. Now for the final myth of today's video, this one is saying that you can place troops on the bridge in the Royal Arena if you destroy one of the towers. Here we have the first tower destroyed. I'm trying to put a Tesla on the bridge. I figured this would be the best card because it's so tiny, but you can't place that down. So next up, we move to the cannon, and again, it just doesn't want to go on the bridge. I wasn't thinking this one was gonna worth it, but I had to give it a shot just to see if anything would happen. So unfortunately, your myth is busted. Now guys, that was the final myth of today's video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a like down below, and if you just so happen to be new, please subscribe. Like, being real here, if you made it this far in the video, you obviously enjoyed it, so you might as well drop a sub. But I have nothing else to rant about, so guys, this has been Eclihpse. Hopefully you enjoyed, and peace out.